Everybody, it is the Q92 Morning Show. Christian and Lauren here, Jake producing things, and we are joined right now by friends of the radio station. They've been here before. They've been in the studio
1 year ago today.
They were. Is that really a year?
To the date.
Year to go to the date.
date.
They were in studio with us here in Canton, Ohio, Q92. Now here they are hanging out with us for a little bit here today. Clyde and Gracie, Lauren, good morning. How are we doing today?
We're good.
Yeah, just woke up like an hour ago.
You know what's funny? I was going to get into that a little bit. You talk about you being tired. We were all looking, getting ready to talk to you guys. I was looking at your tour, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but you guys have like 2 days off the rest of the year. Like, it is insane. You're going all the way to, I think, December 9th, and there are weeks where you have 4 or 5 shows in a week. When do you guys get to sleep and relax?
And we also just added to some of our off days. So we're opening for the Jonas Brothers. That's what we're doing for the next 4 months. And on some of those off days, we actually just added a few headline shows of our own. So we're not utilizing the off days for rest.
But in the rare occasion you get one, what do you two like to do?
I mean, yesterday we had an off day yesterday, and I just like really hung out by the bus, watched a couple movies, walked around a little bit, but also we are working on finishing our next album. So set up a little mobile recording studio, keep pushing the songs forward. It's kind of like a mixed bag of like hanging, recharging, doing all the other, there's so much work that goes into being a band outside of touring. So we're always also working on those things.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being exhausted and touring with the Jonas Brothers, Yankee Stadium for a Mets fan. How'd this go for you guys? Opening that. It had to have been an epic night for you guys.
It was very epic. I mean, the fact that it was the biggest venue we'd ever played, the first night of this tour, hometown. So we had lots of friends and family in the crowd. It was pretty amazing. Yeah. The only thing that would have made it better is if I was a Yankees fan instead of a Mets fan.
Speaking of the Mets, how you guys enjoying Francisco Lindor you got from us in Cleveland?
Yeah, he's been really good. I feel like there's been some shaky moments at the beginning, but I've stuck by him the whole time. I'm a big Lindor fan.
We missed him here in Cleveland. We missed a lot of guys that leave Cleveland. That's another story. We just touched on it. You guys just kicked off the tour at Yankee Stadium with the Jonas Brothers. How did that come to be? And and take me to the moment you guys were officially like asked or told, like, you're going on a tour across the country with the Jonas Brothers, playing some of the biggest venues and stadiums. Like what was that like for you guys, and how did you find out?
Yeah, I mean, so a few of us in the band, me and Johnny and Jordan, who are kind of like the main producers in the band along with Gracie, the three of us worked a little bit on the Jonas Brothers' latest album because John Bellion, who we work a lot with, he executive produced their whole album. So he invited us to come on and help write and produce a couple things on their album. So through that, we were kind of connected to them in some way. And as we got involved in the music and got to know them a little bit, it just we all had the idea. We had it, John had it, of whoa, they're going to go on a huge tour for this album. Wouldn't it be cool if we were the openers? And then a few conversations, and a few months later, all of a sudden we found out that it looked like it was going to happen. So it was kind of like an idea that kept growing into a reality.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have to tell you, I have followed you guys since last year, since you guys were here at the station and before. And I was telling Christian off air that my heart soared when I saw Elise Myers on TikTok, because I'm a huge fan, grabbed your song not once, but at least twice to go as a bed behind her TikTok. So we're talking about Christian. I had to educate him because he does not follow Elise. 6.7 million followers for her. I mean, that's a cool moment too. I think along the way, the amount of growth that you guys have had since you were here last year is just unreal. And congratulations, because you guys are amazing. I mean, we love working with you guys. We loved having you here. We love watching this journey for you guys. But what has it been like for you this past year, just kind of exploding?
Thank you. That's really nice. Yeah, I love Elise Myers. I've followed her forever. And she has used our songs a few times, which has been really cool. There's like a very cool thing that happens when you like admire someone else's thing, art, whatever it is, and they're kind of reciprocating. That feels super like validating and awesome. So she's great. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because it's for us, it's like we can't really be objective about it. I feel like at many points in we've been doing this now for a while. I know we look like we're like 11, but we have been kind of touring for 7-8 years. And so there's been moments that have always felt like, oh, this is a really cool moment of growth. And, you know, I can remember so many points in our 8 years that things have felt really exciting. When we opened for John Bellion, when we started working with John Bellion, you know, when we first got a write-up in NPR like 7 years ago. So it's funny for us because I think this is obviously such a cool moment, and opening for the Jonas Brothers and playing these stadiums is obviously like a really big thing. But I think we've always felt really excited about these milestones along the way. So it's all been very exciting. And I think anytime anyone you admire, whether that be Elise Myers or the Jonas Brothers, who I've been a fan of for years, like appreciates what you do, or you guys, like that's always really sick.
Yeah, you talk about milestones, and you look at, and like you said, in the last couple of years, Stephen Colbert, Today Show, Coachella. I mean, talk about a checklist of success that you guys have had, that so many people that are trying to do what you do would love to attain. You guys are just growing and growing.
Thank you.
Coachella, what is that like performing at? And that is such a unique music festival. What was it like performing at Coachella and experiencing it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've performed at a lot of music festivals. You know, we've done Bonnaroo, Outside Lands, Firefly, like Electric Fork, you know, a lot of the really big ones. Yeah, Coachella is definitely like in some ways not unlike any of those, but the fact that it's like there's so much hype surrounding it, and the fact that it's like kind of near LA, so it has this kind of like the Hollywood of festivals element to it.
Yeah.
It just takes on a slightly different personality. So I think walking around, being backstage, and just all of the hype surrounding it puts it in a different kind of world.
It's also very like well put on. Like it's just a very
well organized,
cool festival.
But the experience of actually literally playing it is not that different from a lot of other awesome festivals that we've played. You know, once you're up on that stage, and it's just like any other, you're on one out of the 5 stages, and there's a group of people there that came to see you, and then there's a group of people that are kind of walking by on their way from one thing to another thing, and your job is to like try to engage them with your music in a way where they're going to be like, oh, I'm going to actually stop here and watch the rest of this band set. And so in that way, it's just like any other festival.
Well, and I think why so many people get drawn to you, and they stop and go, wait a minute. I mean, you two are sitting here now talking with us, and you're so, you know, calm, relaxed. But if anyone's seen one of your shows, been to one of your shows, the energy of not just you, but your band, it's insane. And it goes from start to finish.
Yeah.
You guys are not chill at all. I mean, has it always been how you guys have always performed? And what is it? Do you guys like get hype off each other when you're performing? Like because I mean, you guys are insane on stage.
Thank you. I mean, we started as a college band. So I think like when you start by playing shows in frat basements, like that pretty much informs the rest of your career. And also like we like loved that environment. Like it's a really great place to like actually play your material. We had like a funny mix of like the people that would come to our frat basement shows were like a mix of like music fans and people who wanted to party. And I think that's been sort of a through line of our career of like, we've had a really cool mix in our audience of people who are like, you know, the term music nerd sounds pejorative, but it's not. Like someone who like totally knows a lot about music, or we're all bit music nerds, but then at the same time, like really want to turn up and have a good time. So I think we're trying to always like achieve that balance because it started so early on in our career, just like that.
I also think that like a lot of music that like we associate currently with like really high energy is often like really electronic music. So like when you think about like shows where it's a party, like you're thinking about, yeah, some type of a very electronically driven music. And a core tenet of our band is that there's no pre-recorded backing tracks at all when you hear us play live. So like it has that kind of old school high energy party thing going on where it's like the drums are like our drummer playing his butt off, like the horns are adding all this flair, like it's that very old school live party energy. And the other thing I would say is that it's not just me and Gracie, there's 8 of us in the band, and the other 6 guys in the band are like our best friends from different points in life. Like none of those people are like hired musicians along the way. Like literally every person that played at Yankee Stadium with us last week were the same as the people that played in college house party basements with us 7 years ago or whatever. So in that sense, like we have this camaraderie among us that just like allows it to be really, really fun.
And genuinely people do things on stage all the time that like surprise me or make
me
laugh.
Like we're always goofing around on stage.
I love that because it just keeps the whole genuine aspect of just having fun on stage, because that's truly what you're doing. You're hanging with your friends and you're doing what you love. And I think it really shows through in that music.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I wanted to mention the single that you guys dropped. I'm sorry. I'm confident, I'm insecure. I love this song so much, and I think it speaks to so many people. You know, can you kind of give us a little background on why that song was something that you believed in so much and wanted to put out there?
Yeah, I'm confident that I'm insecure. Definitely like a thesis statement of my life. I think it just felt, I think we like writing about things that are a combination of like filled with a lot of heart, filled with a lot of comedy, filled with a lot of self-reflection. And this song really hit on a lot of those things. And it sort of came to me first, as in I thought of it first in my room, like alone one night during the pandemic. That lyric sort of popped into my head and I just started writing some of those verses. And I felt I was going through a time that was a little low, as I think a lot of us were during the pandemic, when you're sort of alone with your thoughts. And it was around a time where I just started thinking about going to therapy or Zoom therapy. And I just like, as opposed to sort of sugarcoating it, I just kind of spit out all of the thoughts that were in my head. And the great thing about our collaboration and with the guys in our band and John Bellion is that we all kind of have the same North Star of like writing something that feels authentic and also new and funny. And so this song to me is sort of like a very honest essay, an inner monologue that I hope other people can relate to and makes them feel a little better and maybe makes them laugh a little bit.
Yeah, again, that's the single, I'm confident, I'm insecure. I love it because you're right. I think that comedy side of it makes people open up a little bit more and be like, hey, you know what? I'm not the only one that struggles. Like, it's okay. It's okay to laugh at yourself. It's okay to be you. And so I love that so much.
I think a lot of, I think a lot of like self-love songs like are really important, but can feel very heavy-handed in their like messaging or like, you know, I think that our approach to writing a song that is a self-love song and is a self-acceptance song is to do it with like a very hearty dose of humor and an ability to laugh at yourself, because that's always kind of what makes me personally feel better.
I also think we're always like really into writing songs that are not at one extreme end of the emotional spectrum, you know, not writing a song that's saying, oh my God, I'm the best, I'm so brimming with confidence. And also not a song that's like, I'm the worst, everything is so terrible. And, you know, whether it's our song Don't Lose Sight, like that's a song about how it's really easy to get down, but it's also important not to let those moments get you all the way down. Or our song "Do You Want to Do Nothing With Me" is about how you know, you want to find somebody that you want to go on an adventure with, but that adventure you want to go on them with is doing nothing at home. And this song is no different, where it's saying like everybody, confidence and insecurity are kind of theoretically seen as these two opposite ends of a spectrum, but like everybody is kind of a mix of both. And that's why that title is kind of a wordplay in and of itself, that like you can be, even if you don't feel confident in anything, maybe the thing you're confident in is that you're insecure, and that's something.
Well, again, the song is out now. They're on tour with the Jonas Brothers. No, really cool. We talk to people sometimes. We're lucky enough to talk to a lot of bands like yourselves, and you know, talking to you guys for 10 minutes. I just want to. You're the kind of people you root for, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like the kind of people, like I'm like,
yeah.
man, like they've already made it. Like I want them to, like, you just talk to you guys. You're down to earth. You're kind people.
Yeah.
You got good heads on your shoulders, and it's really cool.
You guys too. We appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
It just makes you want to root and listen to your music more and root for you and watch you guys be like, man, I hope they just absolutely explode.
Well, it's amazing when we do this and we realize they have such substance behind their music and
Yeah.
such a God-given talent to share it.
Thank you.
Please keep using that to help people understand, to help people identify, because it is a gift. I mean, not everybody can put it out there the way that you guys do. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And
Appreciate it.
by the way, before you go, your covers, man, your covers are phenomenal.
They are.
You like, man, was it Stevie Wonder? Oh my God. I was watching that. I was like, Jesus, these guys. Everyone does covers in their set. You throw one or two in maybe to get, but some of the things you guys do and put your own spin on.
We try to only do covers if we're going to do something different and special that only we would do with it. And that's kind of been our thought process behind it. But it's one of our, and that takes it back to the college days, like Gracie was saying, you know, back when we were in college, we were playing 50% covers, 50% originals. And the goal of the originals was like, we got to write a song that doesn't feel like a letdown after we play this Stevie Wonder song or whatever. That was kind of the barometer.
Totally.
So covers are really baked into like the DNA of the band.
It is awesome. Well, they're going to be here in Cleveland.
Can't wait.
On the 18th, they're going to be at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with the Jonas Brothers. We're going to be giving away tickets to that show, and someone's going to win a meet and greet with Lawrence.
That's right.
So very Clyde Gracie. Obviously, Clyde Gracie. Thank you so much just for the time.
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
awesome. Congrats on all the success, and wish you nothing but the best, and hope to hear from you guys again soon.
Thanks
Thank you so
much.
much.
We'll see you guys
Have a
soon.
great day.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.